Hello crypto cats, my name is Tom and I am a crypto investor and it's time for our weekly market roundup. We start of course with a heat map of the top 100 coins and you can see that it is green. Look at that. This is nice. We have Ethereum up 26.8%, Bitcoin up 11.5%, sitting at 34,500. In all, like most of the alts up 20-30%. I mean, look at ICP, Definity, their coin is up 60% this week. But don't be fooled, this has dropped significantly down from 600 to now $46. So, I guess just bouncing off bottom. Cardano up 15%. They have been added as a fund to Grayscale, now the third largest holding of Cardano. Even Ethereum Classic's up 46% because some people just don't understand crypto and they think they're buying Ethereum for $56. Oh well. Okay, so if you do like the video, by the way, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's get us over 1,000 subscribers. That'd be really nice to do. Let's jump into the charts and see what is going on. Okay, so we have Bitcoin. We've been in this wedge pattern. We've talked about this if you watched any of my other videos, and you can see that we've had a nice, well, we broke out. Arguably, we had a retest and a resumption up. You could say that maybe we broke down. It's a little inconclusive. But what needs to happen now, just like we had in these previous kind of like channels here, is we need to put in a higher high than the $36,000 Bitcoin. So we're looking to target around 37.5, 38,000 or so. That's where we'd like to see another high come in and then a higher low and begin this repair. And it's still grassroots stage of recovery, but there is a cause for optimism. We are starting to grind upwards. And I think one of the interesting things to talk about with Bitcoin right now is the hash rate. So hash rate is the total amount of computing power that is mining and securing the network. And the higher the hash rate, the securer the network, and the lower, the less secure. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's vulnerable. And you can see that since the ban in China and all of those miners genuinely did get removed from the ecosystem, the hash rate has just plummeted, which means that it's easier right now to mine Bitcoin. So those that are mining are getting more Bitcoin for their processing power. So the incentive increases. And some people think that this might be why we're getting a bit of a jump in Bitcoin prices as well, because the network gets cheaper, transaction costs go down. So this is something to be very much aware of. And it continues to drop. We are getting lower lows on the hash rate. So that is quite interesting to see. Other news events as well, just to discuss. Another, come on, Tom. All right, ARK are launching a Bitcoin ETF, or they're applying to do so. We have, 5 other providers and banks like Fidelity all vying to be the first ETF that is accredited in the US. But so ARK have added themselves, they've thrown their hat into the ring here. So Cathie Wood, obviously a big proponent of Bitcoin, is looking at setting up a fund there. Morgan & Stanley have bought 28,000 shares of Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which is the closest thing we have to an ETF right now. This is a bank that said that they weren't interested in crypto whatsoever, and now look at them go. And we have had Congress meeting and discussing regulation for the crypto space. So that is our headwind that we are going into right now. And also more murmurs coming out of India looking at a total ban of even spot holding of Bitcoin. So, we do have those things to consider. All right, let's jump back into those charts. So, Bitcoin, we're looking a bit tastier, a bit nicer. Looking at Bitcoin versus Ethereum, of course, with a stonking week up 26%, so has made I think it was a 12% gain here over Bitcoin. Nice engulfing candle here, marching its way up towards that 50% flippening. Expect some resistance here, but as confidence comes back into the market, Bitcoin, the safe haven, is less appealing, and people move to alts, and Ethereum is our first alt, the alt of all alts. And so, this is looking good. And I just want to talk a bit about why, for me, the incredible bull case for Ethereum. So I don't know if many people are aware, but Ethereum on paper has an unlimited supply, but it's not really unlimited. It's, every time a new Ethereum block was mined, you would get 5 Ethereum. that were added to the network up until like July 2017. Then that changed to 3 Ethereum, and then that dropped down to 2 Ethereum in January 2019. 2019. Now that's going to stay the same, but those of you who probably have heard about EIP 1559, this is going to mean that every time there's a transaction, a small amount of Ethereum is burnt, and that will outstrip this addition of Ethereum to the network should Ethereum continue to be used to the extent that it is, and it should be used significantly more. So this means that we'll probably never ever see Ethereum get up to this 120 million mark, and it may well start to dip back down and drop down to 100 million and below. So ultrasound money, very interesting. And the other thing that really appeals to me for Ethereum and just makes it the market leader is this is looking at the number of developers who use different blockchains. And so you can see down here, loads, 200 developers using Filecoin and Tezos and whatever it may be, Polkadot and then Cardano. And above this line is new ones added, like new developers that you can basically see on GitHub that are active. And you can see not only is Ethereum adding more developers than anyone else, Polkadot doing quite well in adding developers, but a long way to go. But look how many more it has, like number of developers working on it, than any other cryptocurrency. And it's this moat, this huge moat, that for me means that Ethereum probably will never be caught, because you can emerge with better technology. Arguably, say Cardano or Solana's got better technology, but it doesn't really matter if you have the network effect of people using it. You could use the analogy of VHS and Betamax for those who are young enough to remember the VHS cassettes. Betamax was better technology, but it didn't matter. VHS won because it had the network effect. It had people using the VHS player. So, I could make many other analogies of different stocks. If you know the stock Intuitive Surgical, who make robotic surgical devices, all the surgeons are used to using that, so they're never going to switch to Johnson & Johnson's one. So Intuitive Surgical, cracking stock to buy, has a moat that just makes it very hard for its competitors to catch it. So just can't get enough Ethereum, uber bullish. Don't forget that 94 of the top 100 cryptocurrencies are built using Ethereum. So mental, absolutely amazing opportunity and use. It's bullish. Just believe me, it is bullish. So let's just look at Ethereum. Hopefully my charts will play ball. So, whilst I was just showing you that chart, remember that, so the total amount of Ethereum has been continually increasing in the system, but yet the value of Ethereum, as we all know, this is the 8-hour chart, so it's not much use to us. Just come down to the weekly. But the value of Ethereum, of course, has been continuing to rise significantly despite that dilution, if you will, of Ethereum in the total network. So it just goes to show how big a deal it will be when it becomes deflationary. And yeah, I don't like to make price predictions, but I genuinely find if this continues, which it should continue, the use of cryptocurrencies and the building of dApps and crypto infrastructure, DAOs and such, then it's hard to imagine how Ethereum won't get to $50,000, $100,000 to $300,000 in the future, and it will also pay us to run a node on it. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole of distraction. So just looking at the Ethereum chart, you can see that we've had a nice week. We have had a decent engulfing candle, which we now need to, the hard work starts here. We need to get above 2,300, and if we clear 2,300, then we need to get above 2,700 and then 3,000, and then as far as I'm concerned, that's blue sky. We'll just have that one last resistance coming in at 4,000 or so, and it's looking good. It's certainly looking more bullish in structure than Bitcoin from where I'm sitting. So yeah, quite nice price action, but really need to break above the previous weekly high here at 2,300 for us to see continuation on this. Looking at, interestingly as well, Bitcoin shorts. So the number of shorts placed on Bitcoin has continued to drop another 10% this week. So we had that massive amount of Bitcoin shorts, which looked to be insider trading on the knowledge that the ban for Binance, or the regulations for Binance in the UK, was coming. And we've since come back even further. So the number of shorts on Bitcoin really dropping very nicely, which is good to see. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, you can see that we are sitting at 46% dominance. We've come back a little bit, not huge moves. I think for me, once we see this line here breached and Bitcoin dominance dropping below 42, 43, that's when I'm personally going to start adding back into my altcoins. But until we get below this line, I'm adding to Ethereum. And then once we break here, I'll be adding to DeFi coins, the likes of Aave and Sushi and Uniswap and such. Or you can just buy the DPI Pulse, the DPI index. And this is our DPI index versus Ethereum. You can see that we're starting to potentially put a bit of a floor in and work our way back up. The downward move may be over, but I'm not jumping in yet. I'm waiting for us to clear this 0.135 before we potentially resume up here. So, things are slowly, potentially starting to look a bit brighter. We're not out of the woods, but we can see some light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and let's just look at the total market cap. So we're sitting at $1.4 trillion of the total value of cryptocurrencies right now. And it doesn't look like we're out to the woods here as well. I'd want to see this. We need to be clearing 1.75, 1.8 before we can really say that we're just strongly starting back up. But this is still very shaky, very, very shaky ground for the crypto space. So I'm just personally accumulating. I'm buying spot Ethereum, and as and when we start to see these indicators showing us that we're firmly back into that bull market, then I'll be looking at DeFi alts myself. All right. Polygon Matic is for me a very nice buy right now. I said obviously I would be not going so much into alts, but I can't resist this formation that has looks to be showing itself here. Let's just draw this on. So we have this quite a nice wedge pattern that is forming here. So you can see that we had this downward move for Matic, and then on this trajectory we have been, oh goodness, my computer slows down when I'm recording. Thank you for your patience, and if you're still here, thank you for your support. Just to remind you, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing his thoughts. So anyway, yes, we have this nice wedge formation that looks to be at an end, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Matic break out here and start its move up to 1.6 or so. It's an excellent layer 2 solution that's seeing a lot of traction and a lot of new apps being built on it. So looks like a pretty nice entry here on Matic. All right, that's it for now. I hope you found it useful. Happy investing, everyone, and I will speak to you soon. All the best.